Acknowledge me.
Leveled by Marvin Constant, the redshirt freshman out of Tuscaloosa.
Oh, they go by now. Let him know he don't want to stop. 65 yards as the ball was brought away from the line of scrimmage. Gerald Dixon.
Hey, you forgot my book. And proper.
Good people, we are back live on the air because it's Tuesday night. More importantly, it's 25 days until kickoff. Bama taking on Florida State in Tallahassee. But right now, your favorite show, the Bama Standard, is on the air. I'm your host, Justin Riley, and I need a couple of things from you guys before we do anything at all. Before I introduce this wonderful panel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Live chat, let's get rowdy. We're going to be talking about some key names tonight that you've been asking about all off-season. Some you've been asking about for the past couple of seasons. We're going to address some of those guys. But before then, to do your part so we can make this fantastic show, if you're watching the replay, get in the section below here where comments are allowed to go and input them. That way we know we're doing a good job. And if you don't agree with us, we'll delete them and delete you. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, we welcome everything. Let's get to it, guys. The 1999 All-SEC linebacker when Ric Flair said to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to inform you, he's still the man. Marvin Constant.
Hey, Roll Tide. It's a pleasure to be here with you all as always.
Yeah. And then we have got the undefeated, undisputed king of comedy. He is everyone's cousin, but more importantly, he is the star of the show, the headliner, the showstopper, Mr. Alabama, Steve Brown.
What's up, Bama Nation? Let's get it. I'm ready to go. I got a great show I'm excited about. Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Hey, last but not least, his voice is heard throughout the Strip and Tuscaloosa and all through Alabama in itself. He is never one to shy away from expressing his opinions. As a matter of fact, he's going to get a great opportunity tonight to share that with you. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Pettey.
What's up, guys? Matt, I'm kind of upset tonight. I keep sending in my highlight video from high school to the media department so I can get it up there with Marvin hitting people hard. But I guess me celebrating on the sideline isn't good enough to make the clip. So just glad to be here.
I don't understand how that happened because I had it lined up with Steve's highlights, and for some reason they never get rolling. I don't know what's going on with the media department, but we're going to have a discussion about that later.
Well, here's the thing. History was made. Justin and Pettey went an entire high school season, and they never had to wash their uniforms. History was made.
Because we weren't caught. We saw nothing but the paint, Marvin.
No, it's because y'all never made it on the field.
Look, man.
Hold on a second.
Somebody has to stand on the sideline and check out like what ladies are watching, making sure I look
Y'all
good.
were both clipboard warriors.
Not at all, sir. I
was a wide receiver in a wishbone offense, sir. I was a complete decoy. I don't know what you're talking about.
I can see you now, Pettey. Marvin Constant on the tackle. Daniel Hill, 5-yard gain.
No, man, I was running jet sweeps and getting first downs.
Don't feel bad.
Clear eyes, full hearts. Can't lose.
Justin was holding the cord on his coach's mic set. You know that one kid who's always holding the cord so the coach doesn't trip? He had the cord in one hand and Gatorade in the other one.
Steve, I'm offended. You hear this crap? Come on, man.
I can't say that was an alternative school. So listen.
But you made an impact in your community, right?
I did. I made a lot of. I had a lot of breakthroughs, doors, windows, all types of stuff. So yeah, we did it. We did the damn.
No barriers held you back.
Hell no.
You hear that, kids coming up? Don't let any barriers stop you. Ask Uncle Steve.
Right, burglar alarms, none of that.
None of that. Just be great. Folks, we got a great show.
Steve, you did make history. The first comedian with Down syndrome.
Justin, I said I was going to be nice.
No, you can't be nice.
Justin, I said I was going to be nice on the show today. I said, you know
did.
I said I changed my life, and I'm not going to attack Marvin.
But the devil's busy.
About Steve Brown life, the title Overcoming.
The devil is busy, Steve. Rebuke him.
The devil was a lie. Okay. Y'all heard that Marvin is attacking me. I'm just gonna.
He started it.
He started it.
I'm going to play the high road. We're going down the history. I'm playing the high road. Let's go.
The high road. Let's start out with a great high road, and that's mentioning our lead sponsor who keeps the lights on for us. We got Lamstone Company. Pettey, if you would, tell the folks in the audience about Lamstone and how they need it in their lives today.
That's right. Lamstone Company, as you can see at the link below, realrockstone.com. Have you ever dreamed of having that beautiful natural stone on or around your home? Well, now's the time. Don't wait. Go check out Lamstone Company. They're located in Aniana, Alabama. They're one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. And if you tell them we sent you using the promo code the Bama Standard, you'll receive 10% off your purchase of stone today. It's a pretty daggum good deal. Check them out at realrockstone.com after the show, of course, and get that stone you've always wanted on your home. Marvin, you ready? You look like you're ready to place an order.
Buffering?
Huh?
Aniana. Can y'all say that 4 times real fast?
Aniana. O-Town. The home of Lamont Russell.
Yeah, I bet endorses
Lamstone. So, folks, Lamont Russell is a legend at Alabama. If he endorses it, that means you need it in your lives.
All right, Lamont Russell. Yeah, really, he was a huge legend, and he dated huge women in Aniana.
That's all I got up there. Big women, right?
He didn't discriminate, and we don't hear at the Bama Standard. and what I mean by that is we answer all questions, folks. We got a Q&A section at the end of the show. So what I need from you, get involved. This is a show for the people. So I'm going to tag everything you ask. So go ahead and get them in. And it's funny because I was going to lead with an example, and they were asking about Marvin Constant, Tat Lawson. Marvin got punked by Robert Branch in practice, and he's not here to talk about it. Wait a minute. Coming right back in the room. Marvin, can you talk about Tat Lawson before we start to dive in? Did you get punked by Robert Branch?
Justin, you know better than that.
Tat Lawson.
First of all, wasn't Dinky like in 8th grade when you were a senior?
No, he was a year behind me. No, Dink, that's my boy. Me and Dink always been people.
Hey, man, let me say this, though, man. Robert Branch, we used to call him Big Dink. When I tell you, other than Marvin and a couple more guys, Marvin, I think you can attest to this. He was one of the most talented D linemen to ever come out of Tuscaloosa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you look at his overall body of work. Had Dink been a little bit more focused on
and more serious, I know.
He would have been a lot better player. You know, I mean, you look at the route that he took. You know, he commits and he goes to Alabama. He leaves Alabama after one season. He goes to Stillman College, and even at Stillman College, he still goes and plays for the Cleveland Browns. If he's really focused and commits to what he needs to do, there's no reason this kid wouldn't. Well, he's a grown man now. Yeah. He wouldn't have been a 1st or 2nd round draft pick. Had every tool you could ever want as a defensive lineman. Had them all.
Yep. Quickness, speed, power, all of that.
In the years passed me by. That's right, Marvin. I forget that he was just a couple years after we came out, or maybe a year, but he had 20 sacks at Stillman. That's why he ended up getting picked up. And like after you came through, Marvin, you were the big name linebacker. Dinky was just as big of a name in the state. I mean, everybody knew who Robert Branch was. He was unfreaking blockable. And that's when Hillcrest started having to play on. I remember the center that played, and he said, dude, I've never faced. He said it was a war that night, and I gave it my all, but that dude was something else.
He was one of those people who could do whatever they wanted to do on a football field, and there wasn't much of anything you could do to stop him if he wanted to do it.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, man, he was so good. I was way ahead of him. And we graduated together.
Hey, Justin, y'all need to start letting me do this Lamstone promotion too, because you make it sound real.
Yeah.
Am I not excited enough, Marvin?
No, not at all.
All right, I'll give a little more. Give me one more.
Have you ever dreamed about real rockstone having it in your home? Visit Lamstone Company, Alabama's oldest, most reliable, and trusted source for real rockstone. Visit realrockstone.com for your real rockstone needs, and tell them the Bama Standard sent you for that that discount, baby. Use the promotional code, the standard for that discount.
All right,
Bill
folks.
Rockstone, baby.
Who did a better
Or
job?
Marvin will show up at your house.
Indiana, Alabama, baby.
All right.
Lambstone.
I got you.
Shut up.
That's Marvin. I don't share the spotlight. Constant.
Right, exactly.
Available for questioning after the show. But guys, we've got some things to talk about. Let's go over the rundown real quick. Kalen DeBoer today in practice was lighting a fire under asses. Jaylen Mbakwe is on the rise, apparently. And could it quite possibly be time for Keon Keeley to erupt? And we'll also go over a few other players who are making a name for themselves here in Alabama fall practice. But before we do all of that, we're going to introduce a new segment. And it's featuring none other than Mr. Daniel Pettey. It's called Pettey's Ponderings. Pettey, take it away.
Yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all letting me do this. This is a derivative of an article I used to write once a week that just kind of told sports from my point of view from the weekend before, which obviously there's not a weekend before, so this is probably going forward.
Let's hear it.
But this just gives me a chance to give my ponderings and ramble just a little bit. Sometimes it'll make sense, sometimes it won't. But this week's segment is brought to you or titled, Nobody Knows and Nobody Cares. Look, if you're here, you're inevitably a football junkie. I would double down that you're probably also an Alabama fan, which means you got one of the higher IQs of college football fans out there. And look, I'm not blowing smoke up your tail just because you're Bama fans, you're here, you're on the Bama Standard. Bama fans do have a high football IQ, much the opposite of the Florida Gator Nation, who's good at football and very dumb at it. But even with that high IQ, it would take an Ivy League graduate to really understand all the crap that's going on in football these days. Crap, we had Tyler Siskey on the other day, and he's as plugged in as anybody we know, not an Ivy League scholar, but a very knowledgeable football guy. And he's like, guys, I can't even keep up. From house settlements to President Trump making bills, you just can't keep up with this crap. And we hear your grumbles. That's not even the football side of it. The Pac-12's now the Pac-2 and is basically the walking embodiment of the Will Smith gif where he's standing there in the room with his arms up. Ducks and Trojans are in the Big 10, 20, whatever the hell you call it. Alabama's yearly beatdowns of the Mississippi schools have been replaced by a home SEC game against Oklahoma. Speaking of Oklahoma, there's no more Bedlam. I love Bedlam. What does the man that's 40 with the mullet, Mike Gundy, do now? Play TCU? And we're not. This is just in the stadium, man. What about outsider? When you go in, we don't even have Denny dogs that are same anymore, guys. It's chaos of biblical proportions. I'm talking about dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. And what have we learned about this football season? You need length and girth. Hell, there's only two programs that can handle length and girth, and that's your Troy Trojans and the Trojans of USC. But here's what I do know: college football's here. It's going to be a wild ride, and we're excited about it. And whether we don't know what the hell is going on, I'll venture to say we really don't care. Because when that opening games kick off and you turn on your TV, those stadiums are going to be full, and your favorite color team hits the field, by God, you're going to be there with bells on. Gals, it's football season. Let's effing go.
Wow.
Hey, man, that's a great segment, man.
Wow.
Hey, Pettey, let me say this, man. That segment was better than anything Marvin has ever done. Let's do it.
Here's the thing. I'm willing to make a wager with you all and anybody in the live chat right now. I'll give it 5 years. In 5 years, you will see the SEC and the Big Ten leave the NCAA and form their own league. One being the North Conference and the other conference being the Southern Conference. Okay. I guarantee you within 5 years, you will see those two leave the NCAA and form their own league. And you'll see everyone else still under the NCAA.
Marvin, I honestly thought when you opened that, you were going to say in 5 years, I expect to see Pettey's Pondering on ESPN. But
yeah, he's a hater. He's a hater.
No, I mean, you got to realize something, though.
I believe that, Marvin. I believe
it's going to happen.
I do agree with you, Marvin. I think we're headed for a two-cast system of NFC North, AFC.
When they introduce revenue sharing, you're going to have a lot of smaller schools that are going to benefit drastically from the bigger schools. So normally when the bigger schools are, they're not going to be thrilled about funding these smaller programs. And with TV contracts and the way things are going, I guarantee you within 5 years, I'm not saying it's going to take the full 5, Kelly. I'm saying it won't be longer than 5 years before you see them forming their own league, leaving the NCAA.
It's going to be interesting.
I say less, honestly.
Well, I said at least 5, okay?
Right.
It
No,
could
I'm
be
with
less.
you. Yeah, absolutely.
But you got to understand the politics that it takes to get them to leave the NCAA, though.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an
all
easy
the
feat by
structural
no
stuff.
means. The NCAA is going to fight it tooth and nail. So you're going to see all kind of court injunctions filed to prevent this from happening. So that's why I say at least 5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right there with you. And speaking of court injunctions, anybody, there's no one here who can explain it better than Steve Brown. He's been to the court how many times? But if you need clarity on that, he's going to be our legal representative to break it all down.
I'm with it. Is the guy still in trouble?
It remains to be seen. All right. Pettey, thank you. That was absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Your very first time, it was beautiful.
Drop
Look
him
forward to
a
many
pint
more.
again.
All right, so let's get to our topics. And let's start with one that's sizzling. Kalen DeBoer goes off in practice. Guys, Bama fans, y'all been begging for it. You saying the man shows no emotion. He's Mike Shula 2.0. He's really just a mannequin wearing a hat and having a clipboard. Well, that's not the case anymore. Today, he was lighting a fire under asses. And honestly, I don't think me, you, Steve, Marvin, or Pettey has seen him this animated. We got a glimpse last year at the first game, but this, man, hit the Richter scale. During blocking drills with tackles and tight ends, he was all over the group, stressing pad level and demanding more violence in their play. Wasn't letting it go. He was shouting out to them, holding them accountable. That wasn't violent. Over and over again. So, guys, if you're still wondering if Coach DeBoer is a softy and just is there to collect a paycheck and wear that fancy Alabama T-shirt that everybody gets so mad at him for wearing because he doesn't wear a suit, you got it all wrong. Today's practice gave a good image of what to expect this season. So, guys, on the panel, I need to hear from you. How important is it now that Kalen DeBoer is beginning to evolve to be a more vocal, more passionate coach who's demanding for violence? What does it mean for this team this year? I want you to start me out, Marvin, then Steve and Pettey. Let's open up the discussion. And folks in the chat, let me know what you think.
If we were on ESPN per se and this were their buy or sell segment, I would be selling right now. I would not be buying. Here's the reality of it. We don't need you to grow up and become a vocal coach at Alabama. You should have been all these things prior to arriving at Alabama. Over the years, I've told you all numerous times, these are still kids, impressionable young men. They play to the personality of their coach. So goes the coach, so goes the team. You have a laid-back, lackluster coach, that's what you're going to get from your players. I promise you, the players mirror that personality. So to say, hey, is he now changing? Is he now becoming this person? This is the person he should have been before he came. But I'll give you this. Alabama fans are spoiled because Coach Saban didn't hold it back. That's the same person we seen grab AJ and give him 2 across the cheeks when AJ made a mistake. He's still the same person we seen with 10 to 15 seconds left to go in games, up by 30, 40 points, chewing asses and snatching face masks. We've seen him go in on guys time and time again. You look at the culture he created. We'll rewind back to the Notre Dame game, championship, BCS 2013. When you see your center and your quarterback get into it and it transfers to the field, that personality where no one wants to lose and they got in each other's face because that's the personality of their coach.
Well said. Steve, where do you stand on this, man?
I agree with Marvin, man. I haven't seen it, but this is it is surprising to me because I thought he was a laid back coach. And I'm definitely with Marvin on it, man, as far as the team they get their personality from their coaches out too. So I want to see it. So I think that maybe DeBoer was trying to be Mr. Nice Guy, which would be a huge mistake. And now he's coming out being who he really is behind closed doors. But I think the players need to see that all the time. All I know, I was surprised when I saw the footage, because when I saw the footage, I'm not going to repeat what he said, but he said something like this.
That's what the transcript said, actually.
Yeah, that's what he said to the
Right on.
players. And I was like, okay, maybe he's on to something. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Pettey, I'm interested to hear what you think on this, and I agree with Marvin. I agree.
Hey, Justin, 1 second. I see all these people in the comments saying, well, maybe he's adjusting. You know, after 1 year, is it possible he's able to coach the guys the way he wants to?
I think so.
BS.
I think that's part of it, Marvin.
Hold on. Let me get Marvin.
Hold on. As a head coach, when you get hired to do a job at the University of Alabama, this isn't a training reels position. You should be who you're going to be, and you be that person from day damn one. Because the thing about coaching these young men who are also alpha males, once they judge you, they have judged you. Just remember that. Their perception of you is going to be their perception from day one.
I agree with you, but also I think that he was trying to play damage control, trying to keep his team together. And also, too, if you piss off the players, you're going to have them running to the portal. We already lost 30 players at that point.
And they were super sensitive at that time. And they were super sensitive.
Coach Saban was ever worried about pissing off players? Do you think
that was a different time.
Do you think Urban Meyer had ever been worried about pissing off players?
That was a different time.
I don't care about the time.
We can't hold on. We can't on one hand say this is Alabama, but then also agree kids are different today, but you coach them the same as you did back then. Look, you're coming into a program where half the guys were wanting to leave when the GOAT was walking out the door. That's why he walked out the door, because half the team wanted more money. So you got a new guy walking into nothing but kids holding their hand out, and all he's saying is, hey, I need a football team. Just stay here. And unfortunately, it backfired because the players ended up running the freaking program, and you can't just yell and scream. You just got to keep it together. I get that this is Alabama BUB, but hold on. This is what it shows me. This is now his team. Players aren't transferring. It's gotten quieter. Players are bought in. He can now coach them like it's his team. It was just he bridged a gap last year with a bridge team and won 9 games, and everybody got pissed off. That's the craziness of it all.
Y'all are missing. I'm not saying is anything wrong with it. I'm saying who he is now is who he should have been from the time he came in. Year one, whatever losses you take, it is what it is. But you set that tone from day one. And you lose who you have to lose, and the guys who stay with you, those are the guys you want anyway. I'm not doing this nice candy-ass job the first year to appease anybody. Then year 2, now I got to reel myself back in to get the control that I should have had from day one. I'm not doing it.
Okay,
so if I got to lose
I don't think it's being any different. I think it's just showing a comfort level in your team. I don't think that's being different. It's just showing that. I think it's just a different.
If you're yelling and you're raising your voice year 2 and you didn't do it year 1, that's different.
Okay, but Mark,
you lose those guys, you lose those guys. And the guys who you lose, those are the guys you don't want anyway, because most of them don't want to be coached hard. They don't want to play hard. You can't trust them in the fourth quarter. If you're that soft and sensitive, let them hit the bricks.
All right, so here's the thing. Here's my take. Marvin, I'm with the white guys. Listen, let me tell you something. Listen, if he had come in doing this, the hollering and screaming like Coach Saban would be doing, he's not Coach Saban, number one. They don't trust him. Now, everybody's trying to leave. He has to use some type of psychology to keep those guys from leaving. So you got to be friends and get to know them and all that year 1 to convince them to stay. Because trust me, all the people who were trying to leave, we want to have a team. So I give him props for doing things the way he did to retain these players. Now that he got them, now he's talking to them and they're believing in him, and they bought in, so he can do anything he wants to do. They'll stay. He can even say stuff like this right here, and they'll stay because they're bought in.
Let me help you out with one other point to this that y'all aren't considering, and I'm telling you this from a perspective of someone who played, because guys do all this work to play this game during the off season and in the spring and in the summer. The last thing we want are guys who don't want to be there anyway. So if you can't handle a guy taking, coaching you hard, you think I want you out there on the field me in the fourth quarter anyway? No.
I think we're talking about the same thing, Marvin.
We are talking about the same.
Let's keep them.
Hold on.
First.
As the coach, You got to set the tone from day one. You can't flip-flop.
Not with today's players, you don't, Mark.
Listen, even
They're
with
sensitive.
today's
Players are not you. Today's players are not you. They're
it
not.
doesn't matter who the players are, because here's the reality. Everybody can't go to the portal. Everybody ain't going to get picked up. Some people got enough sense to know, hey, I'm better off where I am. Some people got enough sense to say, hey, I need to be coached hard to truly get to where I want to be. And they don't want this soft candy ice cream coaching. Real athletes don't want that.
You know what? But here's the thing. You got a lot of real athletes, but you don't have a lot of real football players that have the football player mentality like you did, like Dixon, like a whole lot of guys that came out of Bama that were real dogs. You are alpha male. I know you personally. There's a lot of people like you, and there are a lot of that came out of Bama that think like you. But in today's new era, they want to be pacified. And then when you and honestly, I can understand what Coach DeBoer is doing. That's why I'm with the white guys on this one. So what I'm trying to tell you is what you're saying makes sense.
It does
in a real world for football players. But these guys he's dealing with are guys who have athleticism, but a lot of them are divas. You know it, I know it, and the world knows it. This is
played with a lot of divas back then.
Hold on. And the transfer portal was
running back.
The transfer portal to me was one of the worst things that could ever come in college football, because a lot of these kids do not want to work. They don't want to compete. If they don't get what they want to leave. And when Coach Saban left, that was clearly what was happening at Bama. And like I said again, I'm glad that he played this role, or whatever role he played, Mr. Nice Guy role, kiss my ass role. The thing is, the bottom line is he retained him, and he's doing it so well until he retained everybody, not one person left. But here's the real deal. We're not trying to retain you. We want you to leave.
Whatever.
No, excellent point. I mean, I completely agree with what Marvin says. I just think it's a new age. And if it's Nick Saban, no, the players aren't going to run because it's Nick Saban. If it's with Urban Meyer, no, the players aren't going to leave because it's Urban Meyer. But for DeBoer, he was trying to prove himself to those guys, even though his records said, hey,
I was about to say, the man just competed for a national championship before coming to Alabama. So why does he doesn't have to prove anything. Just come in and be you. That's all I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. We get what you're saying, Mark. We in all agreement. We all in agreement with you. The thing is, it's today's players. He had, like, for instance, if you came in with your mentality as a positions coach, a linebackers coach, Mark, I guarantee with your mentality, a lot of those players will leave. Because I know you. Because I know why. Because you would work the dog crap out of them, and you would demand accountability and them doing their jobs. And when you get in their asses, the first thing they're doing is they're going to try to hit the portal because they're not like y'all used to be.
Yeah. Boy, Marvin, you're a unicorn in college football these days, I believe.
Right, but let me help you understand something. What we all say a great coach. What do we all say a great coach does? He knows how to get the best out of his players, and you usually can't coach two players the same way. You have to understand what makes each individual player tick, to understand what's going to motivate them, to understand how much you can say to them when it comes to criticism, to understand what you got to do in terms of loving on them, to let them know you care about them. Every player is different. And as a coach, you have to figure out what you can do with the individual player, but be you.
You know what? And I get that. And you make a lot of sense. And that was a great analogy. But these are different times now. But I think, being said, a great college football coach, first he wants to retain his players and then do everything you said. But he got to have players to do all of that, what you said.
But Steve, I think Marvin, you just said what he did. He coached them last year how he knew he could coach those guys. And now he's coaching this team how he knows he can coach these guys.
Not on the entire level, not the entire team. I'm saying individual level, Pettey.
Can we just say that this is to be continued as the season goes on? Because we have a few super chats to get to before our next topic. Let's give a quick shout out to Don Parker. I'm not buying it yet. Let's see how the season progresses. I guess DeBoer realized that seat can be flaming hot very fast. He should have laid the smack down from day one. Thank you for the super chat. And the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy Clay, $10. Roll Tide, beat Florida State. Thank you, Jimmy. We greatly appreciate you being in attendance as always, sir. Man, that was great. Audience, what do you think? Where do you stand on that issue? Go ahead, put it in the chat. We'll get back to that later. If you got any questions, again, put them in there. We'll answer them towards the end of the show. Moving right along, a name that has populated social media all off season since he got himself famous by threatening to leave and possibly go to another school. It was a big deal. It was Alabama Nation just running wild, begging to get him back. How do we get him back? Well, we got him back. He got back. One of the stipulations for him to stay, he wanted to play some offense. He wanted to leave the position that many felt, honestly, he was better at playing, and that was DB, to play wide receiver. Well, since that move, he has been virtually silent as far as progress. We didn't hear his name mentioned hardly at all, if at all, during the spring. We went down there for A-Day. Some of us did. We watched practice and just didn't really see him very much. I mean, he was doing the 101 drills, but other than that, he wasn't headlining those practices. So you're wondering, did he make the right decision? Was all this fuss, threatening to leave, to go elsewhere, probably maybe even Oxford, Mississippi, Pettey? I think he has something to do with that. Was it all worth the fuss? Is it going to translate on the field? Well, like I said, the silence has been deafening until a few days ago and even today. Ryan Grubb has not been able to keep Jaylen Mbakwe's name out of his mouth. Very impressed with how much he's grown over the course of several weeks. Route running there, hands there. He's settling in. He's figuring things out. That's fantastic. But my question to you guys, one, does this mean that Jaylen Mbakwe is going to be a game changer in the wide receiver room? But two, please explain to me exactly where he fits, because we got a top three that's arguably the best in the country. Ryan Hollywood Williams, got Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton, and oh yeah, Rico Scott's making a lot of noise. So how's he going to get in? And don't forget, Latzir Brooks, freshman, he's hurt right now, a little banged up. He's turning heads. You got Cole Adams as well. So is all the fuss going to be worth it? And Jaylen Mbakwe is going to say, you know what? Forget all that. Forget all those guys I just named. This is my time. I'm about to shine. Where do you stand? What do you see? Steve, I see your hand up first. You seem to be most excited. So we'll start with you. We'll go to Pettey, then Marvin.
Well, number one, I'm not sold on Jaylen Mbakwe after the big money grab. It seemed like to me he wasn't really concerned about the team. He was concerned about what he can get in his pockets and his image. And that kind of turned me off towards him. Again, you named all of these receivers. I think, is it Jalen Hill? He's coming back too, right?
Jalen Hill's back as well, yeah.
Right. And so the thing is, I don't understand what he's trying to do. I feel like I understand that the dude is a pretty good athlete, but I think that what he did, in the off season, was trying to get all this money and this and that, and it's about me, and it wasn't about team. That was a big turn off to me. I would like to see him at DB and just continue trying to get better there. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So, again, I'm not sold on him. He's going to have to do a hell of a lot to convince me. He's going to have to have several pick sixes, a lot of breakups, sacks. He got to do that all. You know what I'm saying? For him to really get back in my good grace. But right now, I'm not feeling it for what he allowed his agent or whoever it was to do.
Okay, Pettey. He made some good points. Where do you stand? Are you on the hype train that's being pushed out right now? Or do you see it as, hey, bud, you've got a line you've got to jump ahead of? Is Jaylen Mbakwe going to make that jump?
I mean, I think a lot of that's true. Look, Jaylen's the poster child for what so many fans, what Steve was just talking about, gripe about today. They don't like the flirting. Marvin, we just told you were a unicorn, where guys played for the love of a university, or once they got to a university, they fell in love and they weren't going anywhere. And that's just not today's kid. And again, Mbakwe's kind of a poster child for that. There was some heavy flirtation, backdoor channeling from Ole Miss last year. And once Bama got word that he might be out the door to Oxford, and Kiffin was making some promises about offense and defense, and you had the hysteria going on with Hunter at Colorado, kids' eyes. We forget he's also a poster child for what we're in a microwave generation where kids don't get chances to develop or grow. So, where he's the poster child, everybody's pissed because he's not bought in at Alabama. He's flirting with other schools. He's trying to get more money, whatever. Hey, it's capitalism. Go get the dollar, kid. But obviously he talked to Kalen DeBoer, and DeBoer told him what he wanted to hear, but DeBoer had to hear what he wanted to hear too, or he would have let the kid walk on out of the door or not come up with the money. With that said, he is still young. You're right. How do you hop into a loaded room? Well, he might not this year, but that doesn't mean that next year is not the deal. Again, back to the microwave comment. We give kids 1 year and it's like, well, shit, he didn't do it and he's not bought in. He's not it. Well, there's players that don't pop till their third, fourth year until the lights click on or till they get that opportunity. And let's be real, at the end of the day, this kid has talent. There's a reason Bama went all in and was excited when Mbakwe committed. He was a quarterback in high school. He's an athlete with every just talent brimming out of the damn ears. So, I mean, does he start this? If he doesn't start this year, I'm not necessarily sure that's a failure. But what it tells me, DeBoer seeing sparks from this kid in practice, and maybe just hold our horses on writing him off that he might have something.
Hey, I like what you said, Pettey, and it was kind of in comedy you call it a callback. Now you mentioned something. You said the coach told him what he wanted to hear to keep him. He didn't. The coach told him what he wanted to hear to keep him. And Mbakwe is still with us. He didn't holler and fuss and cuss and say, get the hell on then, I'll get somebody else. He told him what he wanted to hear. That is required in today's coaching. Old school coaching would have ran his ass off. So now he told him what he wanted to hear. Now Mbakwe has to
make good on his end.
That's my point.
Good point, Marvin.
And that is, and to add to that before Marvin takes off, that is a great point, because once you put yourself in that spotlight, you make those demands, you make it seem like I'm this special player. You do the onus is on you to step up now, kid. Sounds like he's doing it though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be on him to step up. It's a crowded wide receiver room, playing the slot receiver. That's going to be a tough sell on any team when you have a crowded wide receiver room trying to get in. So, you're looking at potentially being the number, 4, maybe 5 receiver in a crowded receiver room. But I will say this in regards to the kid, switching from cornerback to wide receiver. I mean, it's his choice as an athlete. You know what you play best. Nobody knows better than you what you're more comfortable playing. Like I was all state on both sides of the ball in high school. So when I got to Alabama, they asked me what did I want to play. I was more comfortable playing linebacker. That's what I wanted to play. So you got to let guys play where they're comfortable, because if they're not comfortable in a position, they're not going to be as invested in that process as they would be if they're at the position that they're choosing to be in, that they're more comfortable playing. Just because you're a good DB doesn't mean you're more comfortable at DB. You may be more comfortable at wide receiver. So you have to allow them that grace to say, hey, what's going to work for you? Now, getting on the field with such a crowded receiver room, that's going to be a tough act, because, again, there's only one ball, and you still have to run the ball, which hopefully that's going to happen around 50% of the time. So, if you're looking at the 50% of the offensive plays being passing plays and you're the number 4, number 5 option, that doesn't leave a lot of balls for you. So who's to say at the end of the season we're not back in the same position we were in last year where he's ready to leave? So, again, that soft-ass coaching don't mean crap at times. Stick to who you are, do what you need to do, and let the dogs rise to the top.
Did he just holler at us?
He did.
I got scared.
I felt attacked, Steve.
Me too. This is crazy.
And folks, we're not hating on him, as one viewer said a few comments up. We're just kind of trying to figure out where this is going to lead, and not to say that he won't develop into a phenomenal player. He is a hell of an athlete. That goes without
Mhm.
saying. He got here as one of the premier athletes in his class. It just may take a little time. It's going to be an all-out battle in that wide receiver room. The best thing he can do right now is find out where he can make his money on that field when he gets on the field and show out. And right now, it might be special teams, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. He could be in a role similar to Javier Arenas, ball out there, get in some specially designed plays on the offense. And who's to say that they don't already have some packages designed for Jaylen in that offense? Time will tell. I just know that receiver room is crowded. He obviously likes competition, or he wouldn't have made the switch. So if he wants it, he's going to earn it. There's no question about it. All right, Marvin. Since Pettey failed at delivering the first sponsor, sorry, Pettey.
No. I mean, I obviously need to step up my game. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. So, Marvin, I'm going to give you another opportunity for Title Towel. Can you bring it home and make people in this chat who are here right now go out and get themselves a Title Towel?
Ladies and gentlemen, as we open the 2025 college football season, when you walk into Bryant-Denny, there's one thing you better have in your bag, in your hand. It better be that damn Title Towel, baby. Listen, when you got 102,000 of them waving, when you showing those opponents that they are at the mercy of the tide and no damn turning back, there's no greater sight than seeing that crimson towel waving in the air. Visit whitwillsports.com, grab your Title Towel, use the promo code STANDARD to get that discount, baby. And until then, you got to watch us wave ours.
You don't even have one.
I do. It's in my bag.
You know what? That commercial was amazing. And
It was absolutely
He don't
amazing.
even have a towel.
It doesn't have a
You
towel.
have one.
To the fact he doesn't even have,
It's in my bag.
He don't even have a wash rag. He don't have nothing.
I mean, you might as well do a McDonald's commercial with a Burger King burger in your hand.
No.
What did it? No, he's got the Title Towel version for John Cena. Can't see it.
You know what I will do just for you all? Just for you all, I will dig my Title Towel out. And I
Dig
will
it
have
out.
a next-
Dig it out. No, we don't need that title. We don't need that. No.
Has this got to do with length and girth? I won't know.
Yeah,
Digging it out.
right.
Give that to
Dig
you
in
free.
your
You
title.
two or
You dig in your title.
inappropriateness have nothing to do with me, okay?
You're digging-
Visit BrickWillSports.com. Use the promo
That
code
did not
STANDARD for
sound
your
right.
discount, baby.
Yeah, but that didn't sound
Oh,
right.
also,
Digging your title
if you're
towel out.
in Tuscaloosa and you need a Title Towel, please visit the Paul W. Bryant Museum. Ask for
Yes.
Olivia, and Olivia will get you straight. Shout out to the Bryant Museum, Olivia Arnold. Hey, listen, roll damn tide, baby. Listen, it's almost that time of the year, so y'all know y'all about to get the best from me for about 6 months.
Hey, I'm glad you mentioned the Paul W. Bryant Museum. Guess what, folks? If you didn't hear last week, the Bama Standard, these lovely guys you see right here, is going to be at the Paul W. Bryant Museum for the Vanderbilt game.
Yeah.
You'll need to be in attendance, making noise. This is a get-back game for Alabama and Diego Pavia.
Okay,
Only way to start it off.
Get back.
Let me
The get-back
pause,
game.
Justin.
I mean,
let me pause.
Hey,
Justin. Let me
Marvin's
pause.
about to get, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, October the 5th, the Bama Standard will be live present in the Bryant Museum on site. Make sure you show up for a live, entertaining show. You never know who's going to be in attendance, what players are going to be there on stage, on panel, signing autographs, taking photos. If you are a true Alabama fan, this is an event you do not want to miss. There is no guarantee who will not walk in that building. I promise you, you will see Alabama royalty throughout the entire show. And again, if you want that true fan experience, make sure you visit the Paul W. Bryant Museum October 5th for the live Bama Standard.
yes.
Also, Marvin will be
And-
giving away teas made out of condom wrapper.
You just don't know how to
All right.
dial it back right.
While we got the attention of everyone, I want to take this opportunity before we get to our next topic to let you know of next week's guest. And folks, you've been asking about him. You're probably wondering what happened. So next week's episode is going to serve more as a "Where Are They Now" type episode. And let me go ahead and reveal our guest. Former Alabama quarterback Philip Sims will be with the Bama Standard. We're going to figure out exactly what happened, what made him leave, and then also what happened on his journey after he left Tuscaloosa and what he's doing now. So this is an episode you don't want to miss. Trust me, he's as fired up as you are about it. Come watch us next week, same time. Philip Sims. our
Justin,
guest.
you might want to clarify too, because some people may assume that it's going to be the NFL quarterback Phil Simms. So make sure you clarify that on promos that you run, not that Phil Simms.
Hey man, I'm trying working on it, but I'm trying to get Freddie Kitchens and Ben Davis, trying to get them to. There'll probably be an episode nobody will watch, but I'm trying to get them Freddie Kitchens and Ben Davis on the same episode. I'm working on that. My people, people are working on it.
Freddie Kitchens, people watch.
Hey, Justin,
We'll
can you bring up Brenda's comment real quick?
Brenda. Hey, Brenda, we appreciate it. Okay, Brenda Smith, question from Marvin. Who would you like to see as Bama's head coach? Seems you don't like DeBoer much.
Here we go.
Here we go. Shirts are coming.
All right, let's let him talk.
Here's the thing, Brenda. I like the coach. I like his body of work. He's been successful everywhere he's been. I have nothing against the coach. All I'm saying is be the coach that you've been every day for the last 20 years prior to you coming to Alabama on day one at Alabama. That's all I'm saying. Whoever you were the last 20 seasons, day one in Tuscaloosa, be that person. That's all I'm saying.
Authentic. Absolutely. Great stuff right there. Folks, we are flying through. We got the hot button issues apparently tonight because our panel has not been this alive in quite some time, and the chat is too. So this next one falls right in line with that. It involves a player that everybody wants to know, where in the world is Keon Keeley? He was an absolute stud coming out of high school. We battled everyone for his services, including Notre Dame, the runner-up to the national championship this past year. But the problem is he just really hasn't done very much, and I think a lot of people may be quite possibly coming down too hard on him. Let's talk about what he's doing now. In practice, physically, Keon Keeley looks as good as advertised. He looks the part. Looks like a WWE wrestler in pads. Of course, he's always looked the part, but now the difference is he's starting to carry himself like a veteran. Now, what I'm hearing is, although he looks great, he's starting to have a little bit more swagger and a little bit more maturity. He needs to be more consistent at playing at better pad level. It seems to be improving every rep, though, so let's give that to him. His incredible versatility will allow him to not just be limited to edge or bandit, but he, from what I'm seeing, is going to be playing on the inside. So that's something a lot of us probably couldn't have said a few months ago. We'll see how it unfolds, but a lot of encouraging words coming from the camp, coming from Kane Womack. I know, Pettey, you spent some time looking at some interviews earlier today, but again, I go back to, I think a lot of Alabama fans don't really understand his journey. He got there first day, he's having to compete against Dallas Turner. Nobody is telling Dallas Turner to sit down. Saban leaves, everything changes. The philosophy changes. They want him to play down and hand in the dirt. He wants to gain some weight. That was kind of different for him. So that slowed down his development. Didn't really allow him to get on the field the way many of us like to have seen. Now he's settling into the role he was meant to play. We're seeing improvement. I told you the things he needs to work on. Is this the year for him? I saw two hands up. And we'll start with Marvin, then Pettey, then Steve. Is it time for Keon Keeley?
Listen, here's the reality of it. Playing outside linebacker, playing strong side defensive end, there's not much difference in these positions, okay? So when you change positions on the defensive line, again, whether you're playing inside at the nose or whether you're playing tackle or you're playing in, it's not much difference in what you're doing because you're always going to have someone outside of you in a lot of those cases if somebody's walking down. It may be a safety walking down if you're outside linebacker. If you're a defensive end, it might be a linebacker walking down. So you have to know how to play with people on both sides of you regardless of where you're playing. And here's the thing that a lot of people are not taking into account. He's playing behind LT Overton right now at strong side defensive end. LT is trying to get his NFL draft stock up. How much is LT going to be willing to leave the field, i.e. Dallas Turner? When you're in these situations, when you're trying to get yourself to that next level, you're less likely to want to share reps. So again, unless you're a certain type of guy where you know, hey, you can have every rep in practice. I'm going to play every rep in the game, which you do have those type of guys, you know, that's the only reps you're going to get. Because, again, most guys who know that they're about to be, you know, first, second round draft pick, they're trying to do everything in their power to get their numbers up, get those stats up. So, again, is LT Overton going to be willing to leave the field as much to give him the opportunity, even though he's gotten better? So, the question remains, should you stay at strong side end or move to weak side end or potentially look at outside linebacker if you can transition your body? So many factors come into play with this decision. But, again, being a backup is one of the most difficult positions to be in because you never know when you're going to get on the field.
Wow.
Hey, Pettey.
Hard to back that up, but I can't
Where do you
agree
go from
more,
here?
Marvin. And it's a tough spot for the kid. Justin, you put it eloquently, man. You can't forget, and to go back to my Mbakwe microwave, now the microwave's he's been in the microwave for a few years. We knew what the prospect he was. He was behind Dallas Turner out of the gate. He's had some size fluctuation, but all the promise is there. But I'll take it one step further. But to be great, the teams that win titles are too deep on the defensive line. And they're not just too deep. They're too deep with NFL guys. And if Keon can provide that, like you said, the word out of camp is he's been able to move inside and get some damage done. If I'll say this, we don't know. That's the big question mark. Can Keon reach that unlimited potential he has, which is NFL potential? Well, the answer is if he does this year, that's what's going to make this defense go from really good to elite, and what propels Alabama to a chance to play for the national title this year, be in the playoffs. So, it's more a question of we're hearing the right things out of camp. The kid's always had the high ceiling. There's been some changes in defensive structure, been behind guys that are a little bit better. And like Marvin said, now you're behind a guy that's in a contract year. And when you're in a contract year, you get the best out of an SOB. You know that as good as anybody, Marvin. That's when – but let's be real, Keon's he's in his contract stage. So it's time for him to take that step. And again, if he does it, this defense goes from this level to that level.
Pettey,
Right.
you know the answer. Here's the ultimate answer to this question, Pettey. And I'm going to leave this right here. Be so damn good that they can't not play you.
Right.
Be so damn good that they find someone else's job to move someone to so that you can have the job that you're dominating or a job that they think you can dominate. Be so damn good that they can't keep you off the field. You go take somebody's job. If you're that high level of player, you're gonna take somebody's damn job. That's what real killers do. And I ain't telling you that from out the side of my neck. I'm telling you from experience. I made an All-American transfer. Listen, real killers show up and show out. Your body of work is going to speak for itself. Nobody in the media should have to report to say, oh, you're doing this. When you strap it on and you walk across those white lines, all your teammates and your coaches going to know, get out this man's way because it's not going to end well.
So what if he wants to transfer his position to placeholder?
That's a freaking huge placeholder. I don't think anybody will try to block a field goal.
I'm just saying, just one
No,
out there,
when you're that good and you're that
Yeah.
dominant of a force and you are a true disruptor, you best believe a coach is going to find a way to get you on that field.
Right.
He's going to find a position for you. He's going to move somebody out the way to give you what you've been fighting for if you're that much of a disruptor and a game changer. That's what I always tell kids. Put yourself in a position where they can't not play you.
Wow. And there's something to be said. The kid's been here for 3 years. He didn't once look at the portal, didn't even hint towards that. So that's something to be said. But in the words of John Cena, his last time is now.
To your point, Justin, what did Coach Saban always say? If you haven't played by the time you're a junior, you probably need to leave.
Steve, you're the one who's going to close this one up. What you got?
Yeah, it's placeholder. It's in the future. That's it. Everybody has said what they had to say, and everybody had a valid point. I'm gonna go with placeholder. So if we can't get it done in the trenches, let's just move him to placeholder, and I think he can take that one and go with it.
It takes a lot of courage, Steve, to have the uncomfortable conversations, and you were able to do that today. I appreciate that.
No problem. That's why I'm here. Part of the show.
Great conversations. That's it. All right, great conversations. Real quickly, we have some other guys that have been turning heads here in fall camp. I'll briefly go over them. One is transfer running back Dre'Lyn Washington. That's another name that our offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb, has been just drooling over. Absolutely love what he's been able to do, both as a runner and as a pass catcher. He would like to see more improvement in terms of being a great pass blocker. But other than that, great reviews. Jam Miller, my gosh, every time Ryan Grubb spoke, Jam Miller's name was coming out of his mouth. And we expect a huge, huge contribution from him this year. His vision has improved. I don't have to say much more about him. I saw a question in the comment section about tight end. Guys, we're loaded at tight end, and the headliner right now I've been hearing every day is freshman tight end Marshall Pritchett. We had him on the show. This kid is phenomenal. What we're seeing and what we're hearing, he's already gone from rookie to veteran very quick. And other than that, we had Isaiah Horton just doing his thing, man. Made a very physical catch today in the red zone. People tried to play him, and they regretted it soon after. Marvin, you've had your finger up for a while. What's up?
And he had his finger up, and now he on mute. You mute.
Do you know who has the most difficult job on this team?
Most difficult job.
I'm sure you're going to tell us.
Ryan Grubb has the most difficult job on this team. Because here's the dilemma he's going to face with the running back room he has, the wide receiver room that he has, the tight ends that he has. Again, that's only one ball. So as an offensive coordinator, how do you scheme up plays for your guys? And not only that, it has to go a step further. How do you create opportunities in terms of clock management? Because again, everybody wants to run this hurry up, but a lot of times if you're not prepared to run the hurry up, you're wasting time. So it seems like he's going to need to be very efficient with the hurry up, high tempo offense to create more plays. Because again, if you can speed that thing up to where you add an additional 10 to 15 plays to the game, that's 10 to 15 touches you can distribute amongst that group that's already going to have a shortage of touches amongst themselves. Because again, we all know wide receivers are divas. They want the ball. So you need to add those additional possessions and touches. So he's going to have to figure out how to have this offense running at an octane level like never seen before. Because there's no way you can have this amount of weapons and it worked. We seen this when we went back to Tua and the wide receiver room that he had with those guys. Yeah. It's hard to service all those guys. And you don't want it to get to a situation where it's breeding envy or jealousy in the locker room because one guy is getting more balls than the other. So he's going to have to find a way not only to distribute it, but also to create more possessions.
Very well put. All right. That pretty much does it for our regularly scheduled topics. So now, folks, it's time to turn it over to you, the audience, our adoring fans who has been with us all episode long. So let's go ahead and get it rolling. Tough as nails. Marvin, did you like early or late games?
Well, okay. It's a twofold question.
Depends on where.
That part, okay. It depends on if we were on the road. Yes, I wanted it as early as possible.
You know, Jefferson Pilot Sport
and be a college student. If it were at home, I preferred a 3:30 kickoff. I was never really a fan of night games. I hated when games would end at 10:30, 11 o'clock because you're so tired. All you can do is go home and go to sleep. You don't really have time to do anything, and then you got to wake up on Sunday, go watch film, and start it all over again. So it's like with night games, you didn't have a life that weekend. So at least if you got a 12, a noon, or a 2:30 kickoff, you had a little bit of time after the game to go still be a college student because at the end of the day, these are still students.
Well, okay. Marvin, and to take it further, and I've always wondered this from an energy perspective, like you're playing LSU, you're down in Baton Rouge, you wake up at, 6 a.m. with the butterflies jumping, you don't play till damn 8 o'clock. Is there more energy for those earlier games, or can you burn out energy-wise, or is that not a factor?
If you don't know how to control your emotions, yes, you can spend your energy with your emotions, stressing and worrying about things. So, but that's up to the individual guys, Yeah. Like, I didn't have any crazy pregame rituals. I never ate before games on game day. So if it were a night game, I just wouldn't eat all day till the night. But, morning and midday games, I was fine because I could never eat before a game because I always wanted to be light and, I didn't want anything, in my body slowing me down. So that's why, because you're a little bit more sluggish when you have food in your body and your body's trying to process it. So So for me, that was the biggest thing. But like when you're in some of these places, man, you think about it. You finish a night game at LSU. It's 10 p.m. Central Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. By the time you leave the locker room and everybody's dressed and had dinner and done interviews, it's 11:30, close to midnight. You take that hour and something flight home. Then you got to take the bus from Tuscaloosa. You may get home at 1:32 a.m. and then you got to be back at the complex at 9 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, give me the 12 o'clock kickoff. Give me the 2:30 kickoff.
Well, that's I guess that could be preference. You liked it because you got in the game and y'all were tired. I mean, you didn't like it because you got in the game because y'all were tired. I liked it because we ain't getting the game. We were just looking forward to the party afterwards.
Well, see, that was the thing. We would be so tired and get home so late. There was no party. It's like, man, we got work in the morning because it's a job.
Right on.
Well, we weren't looking at film because we didn't really need to because we really don't,
Tell you what, there's definitely a party, and that's at Beaches LLC, and apparently Marvin Kelly Weathersby wants you to do the commercials.
Kelly, I got you. No charge on me. Whenever you're ready.
Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa.
Marvin,
Kelly, I got it. Just talk to my agent. No charge.
Marvin can bring the energy, and me and Steve can bring the good looks.
Everybody needs the eye candy. So right ahead there, Kelly, you heard the pitch there from Pettey. So
I'm gonna have my shirt off.
I got a good question here from Herb and Raj podcast. Who is everyone's under the radar player that's going to have a great year? Steve, I'll let you start. Then Marvin, then Pettey.
Man, you know what? I'll just put it to you like this. I don't think Ty Simpson is getting the recognition or the hype that he deserves. And so I would say he's under the radar still because I guess he has a point to prove. We have our my fellow show brothers talking about, the Manning kid and this and that, talking about somebody else on some, on another team. And, I'm just so on this Ty train. I just feel like, if we don't have struggles with the running backs of being able to pass block, I think Ty Simpson is going to put on the show. So I'm on the Ty train and I'm looking forward to it. That's my take on it.
Okay. Very well said, because there is still a lot of doubt, even amongst our own fans, about Ty, and they're debating on whether or not he should be benched in favor of Keelan. Very well said.
Steve, I think, man, this show makes that question really hard because we're so in tune with the Bama roster, and we talk about every player. We talk about the depth. We talk about the Latsier Brooks. We even talk the Draker Patricks. We talk about the third string guys in the secondary. So this is very hard because I don't think anybody's under the radar for us. Steve, I think that's the best answer, because maybe not under the radar for us, but in a national perspective, you're getting Nussmeier, you're getting Arch, you're getting Lagway. Hell, Austin Simmons is getting more buzz than Ty Simpson. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say this 1,000 times. I watched that whole last season. When that kid came in the fourth quarter against Wisconsin, that was the most efficient that the offense looked as far as what it was supposed to be. And nobody's talking about him. Steve, I'm with you, man. I think at the end of the year, we're going to look up, and Ty Simpson is statistically going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the SEC, but he's the one that probably nobody from a SEC and national is even talking about. Yet when they talk about Alabama, they're talking about him being a playoff team this year. Well, for that to happen, Ty's got to be the daggone man. And Steve, I think again, I was trying to rack my brain on somebody smart or wise, but we talk about the Hortons, we talk about the Bernards, we talk about the Rico Scotts. It's Ty. If Ty's that guy, and I think he is, it seems special. But he's not getting talked about in the national.
He's not. He has a point to prove, and he should have a chip on his shoulder. And I think it's a lot. He's under a lot of pressure.
Oh yeah.
The reason I say he's under a lot of pressure is because if he doesn't work out, he ain't getting back on the field.
Well, and look, I hate it. Maybe he doesn't think about this. Players, this is where you chime in, Marvin. But when you put that 12 on a quarterback at Alabama, it does mean something, and that to me speaks volumes.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they'll give the 12 to other players, but they'll hold it for years until a certain quarterback comes along. And when they give that 12 to a quarterback, you're almost saying, we're tagging this guy.
Yeah.
And so you're right. There's not only pressure, from the fan base from being an Alabama quarterback, all the questions of why is it taking, but a lot of us believe, but no, there's also a blue chip that's sitting in your wings that's got the number 12, which does mean something at Alabama.
Yeah, he got a 12. When I got an alphabet, but I'm not going to.
Longest yard. Marvin.
Well, I'm not so much as worried about Ty and his performance. I think Ty will be fine. And the reason why I think Ty will be fine is because the most underrated player to me is going to be the Jeremy Bernard. I don't think Bernard gets as much credit as he should. Going into this year, we're going to have Ryan Williams who can take the top off of defense. So we already know that's going to happen. You're going to see a lot of go routes, a lot of posts, a lot of things that are going to hold those safeties. They're going to make those corners clear out. With that, you're going to see a lot more drag routes, a lot more dig routes, a lot more things in the middle underneath at that 10 to 15-yard range. And that's where Bernard excels, in those 10 to 15-yard routes. And if you ask me, our current quarterback, Ty Simpson, does throw a better mid-range ball than our previous quarterback. So with that, you're going to see a lot more opportunities emerge for Bernard because, again, with Ryan Williams taking the top off the defense, you got a solid tight end who could run drag and dig routes as well, misdirection, who's also going to hold the other safety. So, the middle of the field is going to be wide open. And I think you're going to see the Ty Simpson to Jeremy Bernard connection in the middle of that field early and often this season. I think Bernard is going to be what makes this offense go this year because, again, you can only throw so many deep balls to Ryan Williams. And I get it. We have Horton as well. Horton is going to be another threat that's going to help Simpson out a lot. Simpson and Bernard are going to be the two guys that make this team go. It won't be Ryan Williams. Yes, we need him as that deep threat, that number one receiver, because he's going to command those double teams. He's going to be that guy that gets that one-on-one coverage with that corner and holds that safety over the top in terms of bracket coverage. So now you've lost two of your DBs, and they got to account for the rest of the receivers. That's going to be Ryan Williams all day. So you're going to need Bernard and Horton to step up and be big in the middle of that field.
Well, Marvin, you know what? I'm glad you said all that, but I get what you're saying. I agree with everything you said. But all I want to know is this, and all of our viewers are listening, and I wish I had Smoke on here. Are you on the Ty Simpson train or not?
I'm on it.
Well,
Come on.
Marvin, are you on the Ty Simpson train or not?
Here's the thing, Steve.
He's been a politician, Steve.
Justin can attest to this.
Yeah.
Pettey can attest to this. For the entire, 3-4 years we've been doing this show, y'all have never really heard me discuss quarterbacks. That's not my wheelhouse. That's not what I know. I stick to defense, and I'll stick to. I even talk about some running backs, and I'll talk about some receivers, things that I know more about. Quarterbacks, I don't really like touching quarterbacks because that's a sensitive subject, and I just know how difficult. I know how difficult it is to play that position.
Right.
I understand mentally and physically what comes with that. Playing in Bryant-Denny Stadium is not easy at any position, and to have to do it at quarterback, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So that's why I never speak on quarterbacks, because I understand what they're having to deal with out there. So I don't want to be the person to criticize them because, again, I know the battles they're fighting.
Okay, well, good, Justin, Pettey, I'm ashamed and I'm embarrassed by you two. Y'all gonna let this dude play politician on this show? He turned into a whole line-ass politician.
Yes,
once again.
The mayor of Tuscaloosa, Marvin.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor.
Here's the thing. Have y'all ever heard me discuss quarterbacks on this show?
When you're not getting out of this, Marvin.
No.
Have y'all ever heard me discuss quarterbacks on this show?
Answer
You don't.
the question. Yes or no. Are you on the Ty train or no?
Marvin's an offensive.
I support our starting quarterback.
Marvin's an offensive.
This dude just turned into a whole politician.
He did.
Marvin's got a bad case of offensism. He really don't like offensive.
I can see it now, Steve.
He don't like offensive folks.
Pettey, he looked just like a politician doing it. I support the starting quarterback.
Well, here's the thing.
Vote for Marvin Constant.
Here's
Roll Tide
the thing.
Willie.
I support who makes the great play.
I'm not being funny when I say it, man.
No,
like y'all don't
Marvin,
understand
can you at least do this? Just do this while you're talking.
Listen, y'all don't understand the pressure that these kids go through, especially at quarterback, man. One bad play, they're getting death threats and people like
You about to get some.
It's not
All right,
an easy
listen.
position to play. That's why I have never been one to criticize quarterbacks. Now, if you're a linebacker, a DB, a running back, or receiver, you can get it. But quarterbacks, I give them grace because I understand there's so many moving parts to playing quarterback, and I understand one bad mistake, they're criticized and people ready to run them out of town, and it's not fair.
Yeah, we know Marvin will criticize a linebacker. I think he scared Henry To'oTo'o into greatness in the NFL because he's actually one of the leading tacklers in the NFL.
Henry quit looking for the boogeyman under his bed. He was looking for Marvin.
Hey, man.
All right, so lost in all this was my choices.
Marvin.
Yeah, Justin.
Okay, one of the most underrated players, and it kind of follows the same logic as Steve. On the defensive side, I say Bray Hubbard. We love him as Alabama fans. We know what he brings to the table as Alabama fans, but from a national perspective, he's not getting the love. He's not on the preseason lists.
Is he starting?
He's starting. He is.
Okay.
Yes, he is starting.
So.
He's probably one of the best pure safeties Alabama has had since Clinton Dix. And if you've been reading closely, he's even getting some first-round draft projections for 2026. This guy has impeccable instincts. He's a former quarterback. He's already in the mind of the opposing quarterbacks, knows what they're going to do before they do it. So he can slow down the field, and he's going to be where that play is going to take place. Not only that, he's also a former runner. He knows the tendencies of running backs. He knows what direction they're going to go. That's why he's able to stop them. Listen, folks, from a national perspective, start giving him some love. Best safety in the country, hands down. All right. We got a few more. Well, we got a statement from Lisa Rawls. We only get very limited snapshot of what goes on. I bet a ton. DeBoer got lit up last season like the video today, or even worse at times. He's being him, but he did it all at UW and prior as well.
I didn't get that.
I think she's saying we got a snip today that might have been something that happened last year. We just didn't see because you only get, snapshots at practice. He might have done that last year. We just didn't see it. We just saw it this year. That's what
here's the thing about it though. Hold on. But just like players, what you do in practice, you do in the game. Coaches, what you do in practice, you do in the game.
Okay.
What did he do in the games last year?
He sat on the sideline.
All right, we got a few more questions. Let's breeze through them. Tough as nails. What is your preference as head coach, offensive or defensive-minded coach? What is the best?
Defense.
You
can't score, you can't win, baby.
Defense.
All right.
I mean, look at Kirby, Saban. We've had 15 years to show a defensive-minded coach gets it done.
Belichick.
Right. All right. I bleed crimson. Why are we so pigeon-held at tight end every year? Can we expect better this year? Absolutely. We will have Josh Cuevas and Pritchett, Marshall Pritchett, I mentioned earlier, doing fantastic things. We're going to be able to open up the offense and spread the ball around. Receivers getting love, but more important, the tight ends are getting love. So, yes, expect a lot from those two.
Can either one of them run a tunnel screen like Brock Bowers?
Can anyone run a tunnel screen?
If one of them run a tunnel screen like Brock Bowers, hey, I'm all for it. But
nobody can.
God,
it's like asking, can somebody jump up in the air, be 5 yards off the sideline, and still land in bounds like Ryan Williams? No, I think some dudes are just a little different.
Yep.
Brock Bowers is a generational college.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, listen, I took pride in watching him.
Brock Bowers.
Listen, I enjoyed watching, old boy throw the ball to him, 12, 13 times in a row, and little brother down the street couldn't do anything about it, and they just beat them like that. Like, they're throwing the ball to him every play, like, and you can't do anything about it.
And you know what, Marvin? Guess what? Another thing. Listen, do you remember I asked you the question, are you on the tie train or not?
I support our starting quarterback, whoever.
Oh, Lord. Let me get the last question. Joshua Haney, who do you think is the best blocker at wide receiver position? Jordan Bernard, without question.
Bernard. That I would, based off physical size, I would have to say probably Bernard.
Dude.
Well, if you also watch film too, watching him spring runners, that kid enjoyed blocking.
I know who can't block. Ryan. Ryan's too small. He tries, but he got hard.
That's
He's got yeah, man. I like that pick because I think Horton takes away the double teams off Ryan Williams. I think Bernard has a special season this year. He's got the length and the girth for it. So,
See, with Ryan Williams' size, it's going to play a factor in his blocking, but I think you'll see a marked improvement in him as he's beefed up a little bit. And the thing about him, if you're playing on the outside, it's not like he really has to block on the outside. All he has to do is pretty much get in front of his man and shield if the ball is coming to his side. It's not like he really has to do anything. Just get in the way a little bit.
Get in the way a little bit.
Definitely right, but.
All right. Fantastic show. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for the super chats. Before we go around the room again, I want to remind every one of our guests next week, former Alabama quarterback, not NFL quarterback, Philip Sims will be on our show next Tuesday night, serving as a Where Are They Now? We're going to figure out what happened with his time at Alabama.
Not the Giants' former quarterback either. Make sure you put that part in there.
Yes. Not the Giants' former quarterback. We're going to find out what really happened at Bama and what led him to transfer out. What happened for him in the NFL? What is he doing now? What is his overall takeaway from his experience? People have been asking for it. Now you're going to get it. We're excited to have former Alabama, not New York Giants quarterback, Philip Sims here next week on the Bama Standard.
Steve, to answer your question and to answer Joshua Haney's question, I am very comfortable with Ty. I just refuse to criticize quarterback. I support whoever I started.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you, are you down with him or not? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'm down with him and whoever else we got in the quarterback room. I'm down with all of them.
You're such a politician. You need to be somebody.
I like all of my brothers.
That's it. Be Sci-Fi, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go around the room. It's time to close up shop. But before we do, you got to know how to get a hold of us outside of this fantastic show, quite possibly the greatest show ever, the Bama Standard. Steve Brown, tell folks how they can find you, and then Daniel Pettey, then Marvin Constant.
Yes, you can find me on IG, Comic Steve Brown. I also like to send out a shout out to some of our viewers on here, man, that have seen me in person and come to my shows, and they mentioned the Bama Standard. So I appreciate you guys for being on and coming to my shows. Also, what else? I will be in Detroit, Michigan, I think next weekend. I don't know. But anyway, also, you will see me on the train.
What train is that?
The tie train.
The tie train.
Marvin, will you be sitting beside me?
I support whoever our starting quarterback is.
So you know what? I know I got seats reserved for Pettey and Justin. The only two people that's not on the train, you and Smoke. What's going on?
That's because Justin's Pacer broke down and Pettey's Volkswagen BW broke down. That's why they on the train.
Yeah, and I'm on the train because you can pick me up in your Geo Metro.
I'm with the white guy on that one, Mark.
Pettey, how can they find you, sir?
Man, outside of this awesome show, you can find me at Pettey_Daniel on Twitter. I'm starting to get a little more vocal and crazy on there. I'll probably even pipe up more with football season on the precipice. So that's it, man. I'm here with you guys. Oh, and I'll be on the Final Whistle here in about 30 minutes as well. Check me out over there. I know Herb and Roger coming on, but I'll be with the Final Whistle crew in about 30 minutes talking about God knows what.
You sure? You look like you're about to go to Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers press.
This is green, Marvin. It looks.
And cool. Pettey, when you're at the station, what are you getting on?
What train?
Yeah, what train?
Oh boy. Is this a trick question? Boy, the Pettey brain just split here. I know what I'm supposed to say with Steve next to me, but I might actually jump on platform 9 and 3/4 and hop on the lane train.
Oh gosh!
Oh my God!
My God!
He blew it, man! He blew it!
Oh I'm just kidding. I'm not like Marvin. I'm all on the tie train.
Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. I'm getting some hate. Don Parker, Justin got a Suzuki sidekick.
What is wrong with him? Have you ever driven a Suzuki sidekick?
Don, you're giving Justin way too much credit.
Marvin, I'm giving you credit. How can they find you on social media?
They can find him on the tie train.
They can.
You can find me on Instagram, Constant45. You can find me on X, Constant451. And not riding around town in Justin's Chevette.
I got a Chevette, Steve.
They can find him in a brothel in Utah, Alabama.
Man, fantastic show. As Pettey said, we have the Herb & Raj podcast coming up at 8 p.m. They're going to previewing your national runner-up, Notre Dame, tonight. So check that out. They're finishing up their summer series. But we'll be back next week doing our thing on the Bama Standard with former Alabama quarterback, not New York Giants quarterback, Phillip Sims. This is going to be a good time, and I expect everyone to be present, whatever it takes to get you here, whether it's a car, the internet, or the tie train. We will see you next week. Roll Tide.
Councilman Brothel Constant.